Hello, this is Bill Clodsey. Welcome to a Dominaria draft. This is my first Dominaria draft, so let's get into it. See if we remember anything from the pre-release weekend. Did a few sealeds. Alright, Oath of Teferi, pretty useless rare unless you have a bunch of Planeswalkers in your deck, which is unlikely. Grun is kind of awesome. Attacks is a 10-10, where you kick him and he attacks like a 20-20. You give him Trampler or something and you can win that way. All of these lands are excellent. I wonder if it's better than Grun early. You have to be in the color, but even if you're splashing white, you can put this land in there and it's pretty good. Wizard's Retort, solid. Well, cancel, but if you're in blue, it's probably fine. What else? Those are the commons and uncommons, and there are many extremely powerful uncommons that feel like rares. The rest of this nonsense is just filler. Drake is pretty good. I'm going to start with Grun here, kind of more flashy than Memorial to Glory, but you know, that card could probably be pretty good too. Sylvan Awakening, definitely a way to win the game late, and a good follow-up to Grun. You want to just put a lot of lands in your deck and grow from the ashes, and it does tend to be a format where you can make use of a lot of lands. It has slowed down a bit, so running 18 lands is not uncommon or out of the question. This is like a newer version of Belby's Portal. Sometimes you're going to get a discount on the cards you play with this, but the first one costs 8, and that's not insane. Here we have some kind of prison card. You can't double up on this very easily, so it's just a bit of a benefit. Especially against decks that go wide, I guess it does get solid. All of the equipment is pretty good in the set too. Just efficient, makes some creatures a lot better, especially flyers. I'm going to go with the Awakening though. Just be some land-heavy deck. This is a good example that Jousting Lance makes a creature first strike, so if you know, your 4/2 would usually trade if it has first strike and becomes a 6/2 and has to be blocked. That makes a good combination. We've got Upgraded Crawl Worm. It's like a cheaper scaled worm. Yeah, pretty good. Really good, actually. But yeah, pass up on that for now, I think. If we can do better here. Knight of Grace, very good. Just already good without any additional text. 2 mana, 2/2 first strike. But then it has a little bonus against black, and it just becomes a +1/+0 if you're in a black deck or your opponent's in a black deck. Pretty solid. This is an uncommon that feels like a common. I think I'm going to take Knight of Grace here. It's early enough that and we're not really into any specific deck yet, that we don't have to really commit to green. Although we have a couple good green cards. Mammoth Spider. I like this guy in the format. I think he's easy to undervalue early because he is common, rather. Pretty much draw 3 cards in Dark Bargain. Invoke the Divine. I would definitely want 1 or 2 of these in sealed. I'm not sure how important they are in draft, but great sideboard card at least. And then this thing, return creature by sacrificing 2 creatures. I guess that's best in like the black-green deck. From your graveyard. Okay, Curator's Ward gives hexproof, which is fine. The rest of it doesn't do much. I'm gonna that's tough. I think I'm going to take Mammoth Spider here. I just have a feeling that flying is hard to beat in this format, and this one is a good card to get there. Green is drawing up. That's too bad. Let's see who else is passing to us. Well, we're passing to Quim, Big Boss, Omar, Turbear, Kahara Works, Fizzle, and Buzzster. So Buzzster's taking our green cards. What next? I do like this Pegasus Courser. 3 mana, 1/3 flying, not great, but then you put Grun next to it, and your opponent has a bad time. Howling Golem's pretty cute. It's a fine card. If you assume your cards are better than your opponent's, then you're getting a little bit of an upgrade. And if their cards are better than yours, then it's a little bit of a downgrade. You know, it's a 2-3 for 3, basically. So, but it's easy to cast. So if you're in lots of colors, then it might be more solid. I like Gideon's Reproach in this format. It is going to kill most things. And then there's Gaia's Protector, number whatever, but I'll take the Reproach here. We don't have much in the way of removal, and that's a good start. Are we missing anything? Abomination, I wonder how good that is. Decent. Intervention, okay. I mean, it's expensive and slow for a sorcery, for a removal, that is, but, you know, sometimes you need it. Wouldn't cut too many from the deck, certainly. Alright, we have one legend, and we have this Benelish Honor Guard. More of these wards, they are uncommon. Opt, Wanderer, pretty good. And then I'm not sure between these two which is better, the Knight of New Benalia and Benelish Honor Guard. There's not too much that makes 3/1s a lot worse, and there's a few things that make 3/1s better. But some of the time the Honor Guard will be a 3/1. And it blocks Saprolings. That's a tough one. They're both knights. I'll take the Honor Guard. And what next? Here's another hard one to evaluate. You think a 1/1 flying's not that great. First Strike doesn't make it much better. Once you start increasing this thing's power, it does get considerably better. Even +1/+1 is fine. And I'm not talking about the bonus you get sometimes when you cast a historic spell, artifacts and the like. I'm talking about just, you know, making it bigger for blocking, and then the consistent damage you get from attacking. We already have some things here. Dub is fine, Croson Druid is fine. I'm going to take the Disciple, and we'll see if that makes it. Cabal Paladin. If we do not end up in green, we might want it. Wizard's Retort is back. It's kind of funny, cool looking art. But the good wizard spell is the Lightning Bolt. Certainly 3 mana, and it gets cheaper if you have a wizard. Oh, I'll take this knight. Now we have one of each of those things. The Temporal Gateway, again, I'm not super stoked about. Dub, it's fine in this format, but you do set yourself up for a 2-for-1. It's especially good if you put Gaia's Protector down there. I'm going to take that over Primordial Worm. We're looking more for 4-drops here. A late Short Sword, and this is the kind of card that's going to make your Sarah's Disciple better. Yeah, just go for that. Howling Golem is back. And Tragic Poet, which is not one I expect to play very often. There could be some sort of build around enchantments that you want it with, but we'll just pass it on here. We did not get back our Jousting Lance, so we'll have to look out for those now that we have 2 protectors. They are common, so if we can grab one of those, I'd be happy. I think they're common. Don't quote me on that. Mirari Conjecture. Yeah, instants and sorceries and spells. Cool card. Kind of a build around. And I like these sagas. They play well. They have impressed me. Fight with Fire is nuts. It's usually just kill every creature your opponent controls and do some damage to your opponent after that. It costs 9 to get going, and sometimes you just have to fire off and kill whatever big creature they have. It kills most things, though. Halara Firefetcher, kind of scary to play against. 3 mana, 3/3 with Upside and Trample. Both Upside and Trample. Gosh, that's got to be good here, isn't it? These are both very good. Shoot. Oh, any kicked spell makes it bigger. I'm going to take Fight with Fire here. I don't see any green or white cards that are quite up to that level, and it's definitely a good one to splash. Here's a worse rare Saga. I guess if you need to kill lots of Saprolings, it gets better. Dauntless Bodyguard, pretty good for the rate, and our Jousting Lance is here. But I'm going to take Blessed Light. This is just perfect so much of the time. It can kill their mind control effect, it can kill their Saga, and it just deals with any creature for good. At instant speed, so this is the new white removal. Jousting Lance has no chance of wheeling again, but we can hope. Whoa, Karn's Temporal Sundering. Yeah, I got this pretty good in Two-Headed Giant. If you're playing that, you both get to take an extra turn. But it's not very good if you're not in blue. Here's another red splash. Maybe not worth it on the splash, and certainly I would want some fixing first. So I will take Grow from the Ashes here, a nice 2-for-1, or just a good piece of ramp. And sometimes you're going to be able to use the land that you get because it does not come into play tapped. Any other cool things going on here? Not really. Maybe we'll be past a bit more green in this direction. Yeah, Radiating Lightning. More of a sideboard card, but certainly defensible in your main deck, or a spells deck. We'll see how that goes. Maybe better than the 2-drops we have so far is Mesa Unicorn, one that benefits from growing up a bit. And I'll tend to prefer these early creatures to the 5-drops we might want, like Mammoth Spider. Mammoth Spider might turn out to just be the best thing we could get, but yeah, right now... Actually, I'm going to take Mammoth Spider. I just have a feeling it's going to be solid, and the Mesa Unicorn is fine, but we have a lot of 2-drops already. Isolated Chapel. The wrong colors for us. Now, I did say you could play these Memorial lands on the splash, and I stand by it, but the red one is the worst. Most opponents won't be dipping into a 3rd color. Sometimes you could mana screw them if you killed that third color. But a solid card here in the Aven Sentry. 3/2 flyer, can't ask for much more than that for 4 mana, except maybe call the Cavalry. 4 power and toughness of Vigilance for 4 mana. Solid, take that. More bears, more 2/2s. Then what? Another dub, which I'm not sure we're even playing the first one. Broken Bond. We don't have that artifact and enchantment removal yet. We have Blessed Light, which is fine. I'm going to take Broken Bond here. It looks like we're just going to have enough playables without having to grab a Primordial Worm here or a 3rd Gaia's Protector. And you know, there's a lot of good stuff to kill. Sagas. Some of the Sagas are only really good on their 3rd thing, so you have some time to deal with them. And there's a lot of good equipment and all kinds of good stuff. Alright, Aven Sentry here over Devenant Trapper, which we don't have many historic spells for. We have 0 Sagas, we have 1 Legend, and 1 artifact that I don't want to play, so it is a Sentry. Sarah's Disciple, Rule the Skies, or Dub. How good is Dub? There's a lot of bounce and pretty good removal, so maybe not that good. It's very good on Gaia's Protector, but who protects the protectors? If we had more counter magic or, you know, other good stuff, it would get better. So I might just run 1 dub and keep taking random flyers here. And we do have another pack to go. Arcane Flight, Divination, just a bunch of Grixis stuff that we're trying to avoid here. I'll take the Fury. Healing Grace, it's on color. Benelish Honor Guard. Not great. I did play an Amaranth Wall in a sealed that was mostly a bunch of flyers. You're not getting a lot. For 4 mana, you should get something bigger than an 06 wall. We'll probably do well enough locking up the ground without it. It does block Grun a million times. It's back if we want it. Memorial to War. And another Healing Grace. I guess it's kind of like gaining 6 life with upside. Any target. You can protect planeswalkers, you can protect creatures. All kinds of good stuff. What do we have here? We have Llanowar Elves, Fungal Plots, which is the new Night Soil. Just a bunch of saprolings if your creatures trade off. Blood Tallow Candle is solid. Might not be a first pickable card, but it is solid. I think we go with Llanowar Elves here. It's just a good bread and butter card that helps us ramp into our 4-drops and other things. Yeah, take that. Oh, here we go. One of the better cards in the set, in Bolas's Clutches. There are some answers to it, like, well, Blessed Light, some good common answers to it. But if they don't answer it, you are getting their best permanent. And that includes Planeswalkers, it includes some of the better, what are they called, equipments, and just, you know, their best creatures. Oh, I wish we could play it. We can't really, not even with one Grow from the Ashes. So we'll pass it on to some lucky player. Compass is not the kind of fixing you want, unless, as I have come to understand, you have a bunch of Historic Matters cards. But even then, what are you doing? Exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary for 5 mana, and we don't have any way to turn it on except poor Grun here, a lonely king. Lonely king. It's lonely at the top, as they say. Pack's really bad for us. Gift of Growth, Pump Spell. Pump Spell, Unicorn, all probably fine. I'd rather have the white Pump Spell that gives some kind of indestructible. We'll take what we get, though. Skittering Surveyor. I like this card a lot. It smooths out your draws. It can help us get Fight with Fire online. If not for the first red, then for the second red that we'll need. If we're even playing it. Board the Weatherlight. This is the little tutor effect in white, but it looks only at the top 5, and we don't have any historic cards. So not strong packs here. Skizzic's only good if you have double red, and it's not quite as game-ending as Fight with Fire, although it's fine. Here we go. Are we getting paid off here? We get this Elf Tribal card. Oh no, Elf Tribal. We don't have any elves. We have 1 elf. And some spiders. Shoot, I don't want a 3-mana 1/1 that adds 1 mana. We already have a 1-mana 1/1 that does that. Okay, sorry to get everyone's hopes up. We're not taking the rare green card in our green deck. But we could take an elephant. Not exciting. Llanowar Scout. Equally unexciting. If this just added 1 color of mana, it would be much better. But it doesn't. Take an elephant. I like elephants. I mean, that's a good reason. What is this? Fight spell. Confusing fight spell, but I do understand how it works. It's oh, what was that Gruul card from Gate Crash? It was like 1 and a hybrid red-green mana that was instant. You fought 2 creatures. This is that, except harder to cast because you can't use red on it, and it has the upside of if your creature is legendary, it gets a 1/1 counter. You don't have to fight a legendary creature. That's got to be it here. We have enough decently sized creatures to take advantage of it. If it wasn't that, it would be Invoke the Divine, which I might start to main deck, but the removal in our deck is looking kind of weak. And hey, we get another one. 1 damage to creature or planeswalker. Sorcerer's Wand is good. Target player or planeswalker. Never mind. Not a creature. If this hurt creatures, I'd be much happier with it, but yeah, I did not read that right the first time. So we'll take Invoke the Divine. I said I wanted one of these, and it's true. All right, how about this Primordial Worm? I think it's just big enough that it's what we want. We already have a couple Aven Sentries. Yeah, maybe Nature's Spiral is fine, but I think we can take this Primordial Worm and be happy with it. Here's an exciting card, Primeval's Glorious Rebirth. You get all these Elder Dragons back from the grave. Somehow they all died, and then this, for 7 mana, will bring them all back. The problem is there aren't so many decks that can afford to play this. They won't have enough legendary creatures in their deck. Oh, this gets all legendary permanents too, so it can snag a few planeswalkers or whatever. In any case, we'll take it because there's nothing else here. I might take another dub actually, even though I don't intend to play 2. Blood Tallow Candle. Sure, Adventurous Impulse probably doesn't miss that often, but it's also not very exciting. So yeah, the candle definitely hits some things that we would want it to. The Honor Guard is just a bear at this point. We don't have Knight synergies. We don't really care about it. The Trapper isn't much better, and we probably don't have to play either. Healing Grace, sure. I'll take a board. A board for the board. It's just where it belongs and what it is. Soul Salvage. Frenzied Rage, this is the kind of card that will lead to the fastest starts in the format. Definitely good. I just don't think those decks are going to be that good, although they will certainly do well early in the format because no one will be really building against them. Well, who's to say? That I'll find out about the format after this draft. So this is the competitive leagues here, and you know, some other people probably have some more experience, so we'll learn what we learn. Okay. It's kind of fun. I mean, a lot of the skill in Limited is evaluating a new format, the speed that you can kind of catch up with everyone. So that's what we'll do. I'm taking out the Honor Guard. It's just not going to be good. The Surveyor's probably fine. The second Protector is not what I want. Definitely want to grow. Sylvan Awakening probably. Gift is a fine trick. Charge is not really what we're doing. That's 24. I would like to play 17 here, at the very least for Grow from the Ashes. And then we also have these expensive cards, although not much kicker. Not much kicker at all going on here. We've got this, which can be a 4-drop. We've got Grun, which can be a 9-drop. And Grow, which is kind of a 5-drop. So if you look at our mana curve, it's not embarrassingly low. Do we really want this Fight with Fire? That's another good reason to play. And this is like a 6-drop or a 7-drop. That's another good reason to play some extra mana. So what are we cutting besides this? Sarah Disciple looks really bad now that I look at it. So hoping to survive early with this. And yeah, I think we can kind of make it there. So it looks like 15, like an 8-7-2 deck. Is that what it suggests? 9-7-1. Yeah, it's got to be 2 because we don't have another way to add the requisite second red here. And a lot of times we'll fire it off for 5 damage to a creature. In the ultra late game, we can use it as a big fireball or just a board wipe. Cool. Also, something that doesn't come up super often, but could certainly come up, is if you give a guy that has to be blocked some kind of evasion, it makes it a lot better. Because let's say this thing had Menace, they would have to block with 2 creatures, or if they only have 1 little flyer, then they have to block with that flyer. So narrowing your opponent's options is always a good thing. Unless they just have a creature that can't block it and you wish you could kill it. But yeah, a lot of times you'll get some some bonus out of that. Right, the first Dominaria draft of the season. Let's do it. Draft 1, game 1, turn 1 versus Max Tell. Okay. Whew, look at these lands. We've got this little archway. Good stuff. Yeah, so we're going to have a pretty aggressive start here, assuming they can't deal with a 3-1. Mono green over there, and they'll have plenty of time to deal with it. Then the real question is, do we grow from the ashes? We'll get more value out of it if we delay it by a bit. Just get our red sources or something like that. Otherwise, we could use it to get Grun down a turn early. If we wait till turn 5, it doesn't speed up Grun, which they could have removal for anyway. We'll just see what happens. Hopefully we draw something better to do on turn 3. They're using their own grow, so they're not waiting around, but they need more colors. I'm going to wait for it. It's shaping up to be a pretty slow game. Hopefully they don't counter it on turn 5. This is our 75% of our forests in the deck, and they're hurting. Dark Bargain, a really good brainstorm that they take 2 damage for. 4 colors. I like it. 4 colors, and they're down to 12, and we have some good stuff in the works here. Next turn, grow. Oh no, they're growing. Oh, I like this deck a lot already. I don't know what their win condition is. Probably some Daragaz or something. We'll see if they get red here. No red. Just an all-around good stuff deck. I'm so scared right now. If they have Syncopate, then Grow from the Ashes gets destroyed. We also don't need to cast it here, and they're pretty low, so I'm just going to go for Aven Sentry, and they F6'd, so they do not have Syncopate in their hand unless they just drew it this turn, because there's no reason they would F6 there with Syncopate up. God, that's a good spell. Primordial Worm. Interesting, our Blood Tallow Candle does not get it, but I'll tell you what gets it. Oh, we're so close to doing Grow plus Sentry. I think we just can't do it. In that case, we'll just use Sentry, and they F6'd again, so they didn't just draw Syncopate either. Cool. They cannot deal with our flyers. They cannot find another thing that affects the board besides Primordial Worm. So we did it. That's one of their payoffs, I suppose, at a high mana. And they probably have some other big bombs. What can we do about it? Get more flyers is one answer. But besides that, I think we're doing the right stuff without any major changes. We didn't see a good reason for Broken Bond, although that's our main sideboard card that could be useful. They submitted fairly quickly, so no giant changes to their deck. Our string constant is out of date. I hate it when that happens. I'll have to update my string constant. Okay. I'm sure everyone's having that problem. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. As long as the game works. Who cares if the arts show up or if your string constants are out of date? Thank you for the information, by the way. We got server EBD ABD 4E931. Good to know. Could have drawn that in the other order. Might have been a little better. Here I expect they're going to... Well, they could kill Llanowar Elves with a -2/-2. Or they could wait and ramp here. What else are they going to do? Play a creature? No, not until turn 6. Yep. Just a blue. And we can just try to get the most power into play this turn. Again, Syncopate is something I will worry about whenever playing against blue. Easily splashable. So we just want... Oh, what do we want? I think we want... Gaia's Protector. No, I'm going to do Call the Cavalry. Gaia's Protector's real interesting though, because it means they can't play a 2/2 the next turn. But it would die to the -2/-2 spell. They hesitated on our second turn, so they might have been able to kill the elves. Here's another grow. They had 2 last game. Ooh. Sacrifice a creature. So this is working out somewhat well. Now we have to discard a card. Unless we invoke it, which is kind of cool. And then they get to put a creature back. So the other thing we could do is try to organize it so that they just don't get a creature, and if they do, we can invoke the divine before it goes off. So yeah, the best way to go about that is to play the Protector, attack for 2. That happened to me once in one of my seals. I just had nothing better to do, so I cast Eldest without a creature in the graveyard. They sacrificed a Saproling, and it just was not great for anyone. So what do we discard here? Sylvan Awakening is not a creature. Everything else gives them some value. And we can save Invoke the Divine for something better. What is this monster? Holy monster. They were... They were... What? They're probably going to add more creature types to this, but ran out of space. During each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. I'll tell you what sucks about that. The fact that they can keep doing Eldest Reborn. And they will. Next turn. Yikes. And we can't kill it. It's a 6/6. It's too big. So what we need to do is sacrifice our Knight to Eldest Reborn, get our Pegasus Courser into play, and then start attacking for 6 in the air. The short sword eventually. Oh man. That is just not ideal. But they don't get the first creature. That's nice. And we can kind of get all our stuff into play. So this game is just going to come down to whether or not they can kill our Courser. So goodbye Eldest Reborn. It is a lot of mana to get back Eldest Reborn. I guess they're not going for it now. Which is funny. That is funny to see. Ooh. What do you think they have here? Why would they attack here? Why would they attack? They might have some way to... Yeah. To make that worse for us. Baloth Gorger. Yeah, 2 hits of this will kill us. Maybe we can throw Gaia's Protector into this. Ancient Animus. None of this is very good. Tell you what, though. Let us equip here. And they might have something like a oh gosh, what's it called? Gideon's Reprisal. Gideon's Reproach, whatever it is, the thing that does 4 damage to an attacking or blocking creature. And then they can mess us up a little bit. But I'm just going to attack with everything here. We kill the Gorger with our Protector, and then get in a lot of damage. 8 damage. Assuming they don't kill the Protector and then block something else for free. Oh, but if they do that, we have the Animus in response. So we just attack with everything here. and make sure not to give the protector flying. Or give anything else flying. In fact, we should give the knight flying, because then they don't get the free knight if they break this nonsense up. This is where they could use their trick that they were going to use on their attacker. Gift of Growth is fine. In response, we'll fight. It's going to die anyway, so 2 for 2. They go to 10. 2 hits in the air will kill them, and they need 3 hits to kill us. So they cast this thing. We sacrifice our... Well, it doesn't matter too much what we sacrifice. I'm tempted to sacrifice the Llanowar elves, now that they have a creature in their graveyard anyway. It doesn't matter about that. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice the Llanowar elves here. There's not too much I can see drawing that'll make a difference. And if they tap out, then this knight getting in an attack could be important as well. Right, I don't want them to cast Eldest Reborn. I also don't want them to get a creature back. So this turn looks like we're going to leave our forest in hand to discard to Eldest Reborn, and then maybe invoke the Divine on their turn. So, all that said, attack here, give this guy flying. I don't think they have Gideon's whatever, so that's good. Sure, pass it back. We discard a forest. Getting a lot of value out of that. They come in for 6. Yeah, interesting. Do they have another pump spell? If they have it, let's see it. And then we can blow them out with Invoke the Divine. Shoot, yep, we're at 2. And the reason I don't want to block that is because if they have an answer to 1 creature, like, first of all, we could save ourselves by killing the Eldest Reborn. Second of all, if they kill one of our creatures, I want to be able to kill them with another one. So if I lose the knight and the other knight, then we could lose there. If they have the pump spell, we respond, and then we even win if they recast Eldest Reborn, because we can sack a knight, attack back for 3. Whew, okay, got there. Round 2 versus Owling Mine, with some kind of owl avatar. Judge is familiar, nice one. I'll keep this hand. It looks kind of mild, but that's okay. We've got all our colors and our fastest possible start. Turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Ancient Animus. No, not more stuff. Not more land. We don't even have double green for Grun. Okay, Honor Guard. Oh, speak of the devil. The literal devil. They should have just gone crazy and reprinted the original Llanowar Elves art. It would look so out of place, but it would be so cool. I don't know why I'm F6ing here, but there's no way I need Ancient Animus. Shoot. So unlucky. I can't believe I got this unlucky. Nobody's ever gotten this unlucky before. I mean, this art's good too. But I kind of like this card, Krosan Druid. 10 life is a lot. It's 8 mana, so that's more expensive than most Eldrazi's. There you have it. Interesting. Well, nothing for it here. Call the cavalry. We have our green-white up in case we need Ancient Animus. Did anyone think of the name of that spell? That spell from Gatecrash? I'll think of it. No, this card is so good. Alright, we're bringing in our enchantment removal, our other piece of it, if we can find it. And we probably save the Animus to... Wow, that was a good draw. Because this card... okay, so let's read this card. If you're not familiar with it, you mask up one of your creatures, any creature, and then every combat you get a copy of it. Equips for 5, so it's expensive, and that copy has haste, and even if the creature was legendary, you get to keep your copies and your original one. It's just no fun for anyone. Well, no fun for me, because I haven't yet had it. But we have a neat play here, which is called wait till they equip it and spend all that mana on it, and then invoke the Divine. Song of All, Canto 1008. Let go of all that harms you. Yeah, it's just that easy. Cast your burdens into the darkness and build for the faithful a house of light. Oh, this trigger still goes on the stack even if it's not equipped? What? I'm not even sure if that's true. I know it is true though. We're losing quite quickly. If they don't do anything here, I'm just going to invoke the Divine anyway, so we can, you know, get some mana. Whew, okay. Well, this is good. We've got Aven Sentry, and oh, this is really good. They're going to attack in with the Pegasus Courser and the Protector. I guess it's not that good. I think I should just kill the Pegasus Courser now so they don't have a trick. We lose really hard to a trick. And I don't want to lose the Aven Sentry, so yeah, we would definitely lose the Aven Sentry if we let them go to combat. So I think this has just got to be the best here. And now that we're not afraid of their stuff, we could attack with any flyers we had that had haste, but we don't have any, so... yeah, if this guy's not flying, then we have much better blocks for it. Sweet, that was a couple of good draws in a row to get us back into this. And we've drawn more of our lands, so our draws should be better on average, but they have 5 non-lands in their hand and we have 0, so we're not starting from a great place. Although we are ahead on board. We are... I think we're ahead even without the Sentry, or at least even. Right, because this is pretty much... No, we're not ahead, but this is pretty much how it goes. So I'm going to do this block, and we keep most of our things. They still might have that trick, which they could save one of their creatures with. We don't need our elves for anything, so that's fine. Yeah, this block's good. Perhaps even the best. Gift of Growth. Yeah, why would they save this thing? Just to kill more of our creatures? That's fine, I guess. Okay. We don't win the race by any stretch of the imagination, but I also don't want to trade my Sentry with either of these two things. I'll start leaving it back when they get their tokens out there. Oh no, Seal Away. Okay, so our enchantment removal is definitely coming in. Then what do we do here? I will have to look at my deck to see. There's some reasons why we might want to kill this thing, and there's some reasons why we might want to kill this thing. Okay, we have like 2/2 first strikes and things, so I'm going to kill the obvious one, which is the 2/3. There is some reason to kill this in case they get, you know, make it a 3/2. Gaia's Protector. Huh. Sylvan Awakening. You don't always use this on defense, but This might be one of those times. They'll get in 6 here. If they have another Gift of Growth, that would be 10. We can get in like 8 damage here, which is not absurd, but it kind of makes sense. Because they can't really attack into even one of these things. I don't want to die here. If we wait a turn, we might just, like, we have to draw something good to do next turn. So let's just get in there. Wait. No. I'm attacking, not passing here. No! Yes. There they go. And they're off. They attack. They defend. But most importantly, I don't know. Most importantly, we have to draw something next turn. What are these abilities? Haste, Indestructible, and Reach. If only they had Vigilance, this card would be very nice. So what's it gonna be? Just mess up and attack with the Protector. That's what I hope. It is nice that it gives them haste to avoid any oddities. Oh, they get in... Oh, they should have gotten in damage there, but they didn't. But I'm pretty sure we're dead. Right, because their thing wouldn't die. They get in 3 damage or whatever. Huh. I'm going to concede here. I don't want to show them our Courser. Owling Mine, you got it. You win. Dub, we need Broken Bond. For sure. Their deck is good, by the way. This is gonna be tough. Blessed Light, kinda good. That can get our tapped creature back. I wonder if it comes back into play tapped. Probably not. Awakening is fine. They know about it. Doesn't make it that much worse. Ancient Animus is fine. Gift of Growth is good. I am looking for a cut though, so what are we trying to cut here? A land? Like Plains maybe? Although most of our early stuff is white. Spiders are good. I mean, I can't see them being bad in this matchup. The Surveyor could be the weak link here. You know what? I'm going to cut a Plains instead. Now I'm going to cut the Surveyor. Goodbye, Surveyor. Fight with Fire, kind of a lost dream at this point, but we have one way to search for stuff. We'll be on the play. A good number of lands here. Some early interaction. Some good payoffs late. But we'll have to watch that Castaway. That flash. Oh, they're just one-upping us here with a foil short sword. Yeah, we'll have to watch out for tapping our creatures in the face of 2 mana. And then we get this thing. No ramp, unfortunately. So pretty. Okay, taking bets. Who bets they're going to play a forest here to match us? Yeah. Me too, thanks. Yeah. Yours is just way better. Because look at how, I mean, all of these stained glass type arts look really good in foil. Alright, Reproach. Shoot. Maybe we can pick on this Pegasus Courser. It'll give it a better chance to survive against all kinds of nonsense. Yeah, of course they come in here. We'll Reproach this thing, because that gets annoying in a lot of cases. And then we have a Spider. I'd love to play Aven Sentry, and then it would be the True Mirror. But I think the Spider makes more sense. Maybe not. but I really wouldn't want to trade with the sentry anyway. We'll have to be careful if they attack into this with short-sworded sentry. And they do, so they have +2/+2 trick and a 5-drop to follow up with, or maybe just a 3-drop. So I'll take this. It's just 3 damage after all. Glider doesn't do much. Glider doesn't do a whole lot. Oh! Maybe now they have the tap spell. So they had both a trick and a tap spell? Yikes. Okay. Alright. Not a tap spell, but a spell that exiles a tapped thing. So they're going to seal this away, which actually isn't that bad. I think that's their only seal away. And we can come back at them for 10 damage. Yeah, let's just get Grun out there. Grun, old boy. Whenever it attacks alone, I should remember that. Yeah, it's not just a 10-10 attacker, it is only 10-10. As if you had 5 exalted creatures in play. And it is a trigger, so you can respond to the attack with like double Gideon's reproach or something. There it is. Yeah, look at Gideon. This poor dude didn't stand a chance. Oh no. Don't eat our Grun, please. Just a bunch of flyers. 5+7, no, 6+8 is not lethal, and they can't block this. So it's gonna be an interesting game. Very interesting. 6. Attack for 12. So 1 hit of Primordial Worm is also lethal. Get them to 8. Play a blocker. I think that's going to come in handy here. And re-equip the thing holding up charge, if that's a thing. I don't think there is a 1-mana 1/1 or 1-mana green trick, so they could worry about a white trick here. And charge isn't too common to play, I wouldn't think. What's it gonna be? Now is when they have to think about leaving Aven Sentry back, but that's bad because they can only attack with the souped up Ether Glider into our Aven Sentry. We're just going to win with our burn spell off the top. They'll only have 1 blocker, and then Grun finishes it on his own. More green. The Helm is dead at this point. It just takes too long to set up. Although it'd be very good if they put it on the Sentry somehow. I don't know. So I keep looking at this face. I don't know when this face came into popularity, but it's like a little mouth opening up. All right, they are really in the tank here. It was the Helm after all. Okay. Yeah, but what could they have? They just attack with these 2, and they have a pump spell? But if they don't have it, we just eat it up. They thought a long time about that. I wonder if their plan is to win next turn by getting that extra damage in here. Weird. Well, that just makes things ridiculous. We can get back Mammoth Spider. We can kill this in response. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, opponent. Let's see. 4, if they do 4, it's still 10. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we just get away with attacking with Grun. Their play might have been that we misplayed by attacking with Aven Sentry. Maybe that's not even a misplay. But this block is forced. And we will just pass things back because we kind of can't lose if we do that. Ambushing Aether Glider by killing Seal Away is pretty good. If they invest 5 mana into Helm, killing that's pretty good. So here they come. Yeah, I mean, pretty easy block. And they have a pump spell, which is also fine. And they're just spending, wait, they are spending 4 on it. Very close to killing us here. Can we do anything about that? We have 4, that'll be +4/+4, so no, we can't do anything about it. It untaps it, which is irrelevant. Oh, we could kill it with Invoke the Divine. I didn't realize. I did not realize. Okay, they have to block. We're just putting them under the Abyss here. I'm going to hold up Invoke the Divine because that seems like a good thing to do. This holds up, yeah, this holds that up. So let's get, Short Sword doesn't matter. Yeah, and they're out of cards here, so it's just find a creature next turn or lose. They can Helm up the Glider, then we kill the Glider in response, so, we got there. Right? Doesn't even want us to win. So that was game 2. What next? More flyers, more random cards. No, I think especially on the draw we might want to go down to less mana, but I think we're actually good here. The Surveyor, we do have some ways to find land other than the Surveyor. Okay, good hand. Yeah, pretty good hand. It doesn't do anything broken, but it gets out, you know, 2 things on turn 2. And they have mulliganed. Go to 5? Ooh, they are down to 5. Shoot. The elves are in play. Now, I'd love to draw land from here on out. Get our Gruns and whatnot in play. Because our hand is kind of like a 5-card hand if we don't draw good stuff. Knight of New Benalia. And then we could even attack for 1, but Gideon's Reproach makes that really bad. Way too bad, so I'm just not going to attack. I mean, it's like them stone raining us when we're already mana screwed. That would suck. I would also love to trade off here, because they just don't have very much going for them. And they probably don't want to trade off, in all honesty. Would I use Gift? Yeah, because they're already down cards, but I think that's better off for us because we can just develop our board. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I would have used Gift there. I probably would have. Nice, Fight with Fire, some good late game insurance, and they can't block our Aven Sentry so easily. And this gives +4/+4. What do they do? What do they do here? Let's say we attack with everything. They take it, or they go to trade off the Pegasus Courser with the Knight. The Llanowar Elves protects itself from the Protector. Yeah, let's just go like this. They'll take it all. They'll take 6. Not too bad. Do they think they're going to outrace us from here? They're only doing 5. Maybe they'll play a big old spider. You see how good a 3/5 spider would be in any of these situations. The one thing we have to remember to do is to tap our elves for mana before we go to blocks, assuming they don't give it flying or anything. Dub, huh? Yeah, Dub's pretty good. So they're coming in, and another target creature gains flying. So it is flying, and we cannot block it. So they kill us in 3 hits. We still kill them in 2 hits. Yeah, so I'll just take 7 here. Oh, that's really good. That is too good. They have Gift of Growth in their hand. That is something we have to worry about. But they don't have 2 Gifts of Growth in their hand. Maybe they do. Who knows? What are we doing here? 7, 11. I think we just go for the win. They don't have Gideon's Reproach. They only have 1 card in hand. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 11 damage. And the card, we don't mind if it dies so much as this. So that's it. Their board might have been better in the second game, and that's how they won, but we scrapped out this one because they mulliganed to 5, and yeah. On to the finals. Let's do this. We're on the play versus Greg's D2. Pretty much. D2 is a coin, I think. 1D2. Heads or tails. Okay. This hand, it has all of our mountains and can cast just about anything, so that's good. It's also slow, but that's okay. We haven't run into the super fast deck yet. Trip them up here by playing mountain? No. What about this island? I think this island's kind of cool. There's a special name for this type of island, which is like a volcano within a volcano kind of thing. It's like an island with a lake with an island in the middle. There's a name for it. Caldera? No, that I don't know. Who knows? Okay. Ooh, opt. It's hard to tell, like, this should be the finals, and I guess enough people are playing this format that the matchmaking will tend to match 2 people of the same record. But it could also just be any other undefeated player. Okay, well, they're giving us time here. Time to syncopate our stuff. Not much we can do about that, and this is not the worst thing to get countered. Now, there's also plenty of black removal that kills it. Counter unless we pay 2, right? Yeah, and I won't pay it. No. This is a common... Why is this thing common? Syncopate should be uncommon. Originally it was uncommon, if I remember correctly. But they're giving blue appropriate answers to stuff, which is fine. Okay, we have nothing left to do. If they tap out this turn, we're in good shape. Come on, tap out. Or kind of good shape. They just kill Grun later. They gain 3. Now that is tempting. Grow from the ashes. But let's just give them something to think about here. Cast Grun. He's good enough on the front side. Next turn we could potentially cast him with Kicker, but you know, this is the turn they can't counter him. They can bounce him with a little wizard dude. That guy would be, you know, he's really good in the format, so I expect any blue deck to be playing it. 3/2 wizard that bounces. Deep Freeze, also kind of good. We have one answer to that. And their flyer makes it kind of obsolete over here. Does it make it into a blue creature? That's funny. It's a blue wall, in addition to its other things. And they milled themselves... What happened here? They milled themselves with the Acolyte, and then got back one of their historic cards with Rona. All these uncommon legends really spice up the format. Fight with fire. Almost there. Kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. kicker. And we definitely want white, and I guess green. Throw them off the scent here. And finally, we'll equip our little dude with this. In fact, we should use Ancient Animus to kill Rona while we can. Yeah. It's not insane, but it does deal with Rona, so. Now we have a big 2/6 wall for them to claw through. Gideon's Reproach can deal with this guy later. We just don't want them to get any more value from any of that. And now we have Fight with Fire, but it's a little too early to use even that. It doesn't kill them, and it just kills the Acolyte, so it's just not great. 9. We're sitting on pretty even stacks of mana. I'll just use the Gideon's Reproach here after blocks. Careful doing that in some formats, because this would really get punished by ninjutsu, which only happens after declaring blocks. And the only reason I remember that is because one time it happened to me, and I felt really silly. Because I thought about it, I'm like, I'll just wait till the last possible moment to use my trick. And it was too late. Why do I play that extra land? I play that extra land because then we can't be syncopated by 1. Who knows? But there wouldn't be a problem leaving one land in our hand. Oh, great. Cloud Reader Sphinx. See where they scry. They're scrying all around the place. Oh, what is all this stuff? Settle the Score. These are the cards put into the graveyard with the Acolyte, which looks like a wyvern or something, but is actually a cat warrior with flying. What a crazy... Dominaria is some messed up place. They put both on the bottom. Yeah, let's grab a land. We got planes here. Play our planes. 10. Or just play this thing. Put this thing over here. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. They know we have a planes in hand, but it is a buffer from some things. And the one card that cares about how many lands we have in play gives it haste anyway. So there's no real drawback to holding one land in hand, but there is a drawback to holding more than one land in hand. Yeah, they could flash in some kind of 3/3 blocker here. There are some in the format. There's a mythic one and a common one, but neither are very good, or one is just less common. No reason to re-equip that I can see. Eventually we do have to fight with fire this thing. I just want to hold off until we can maybe snag 2 things with it. 10 mana of their own. Oh no! Time of Ice. Just play creatures. Don't play more stuff. It's funny because it will return our Surveyor. And if we somehow manage to tap Grun, it'll get that back. Oh shoot, it's just going to return this Sentry. The Sentry's good though. Kind of. They just bounce it right away and keep it tapped for a turn. Okay, re-equip here. So they do have to tap it. Yeah, so goodbye Surveyor. They get another hit in. And if all goes well, they play another creature here. We get 3 more hits off the Sphinx. Maybe it's time to fire off fight. If anything, we're just giving them more time to draw their second syncopate. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of good. Invoke the divine. Then we don't have to spend time redeploying our creatures, and we can get a more powerful hit in on them. Oh, shoot. Oh. Oh, interesting. We could invoke the divine on Deep Freeze this turn. And Time of Ice doesn't matter too much. Then we have to spend a whole turn redeploying everything. But it does gain us some life. I like that. Yeah, I like that. The Time of Ice has done its job. It's just gonna bounce some things. This comes in with 5 +1/+1 counters if we kick it. 9 mana 10/10 that attacks alone is a 20/20. They're gonna try to counter invoke the divine. I think ultimately that's better that they counter that, because we'll use Fight with Fire to destroy the Sphinx this turn. Maybe they let it happen. In which case we go here. We gain life, so we've got an extra hit from the Sphinx, potentially. We attack for 14. Has to attack alone to get its buff. Bam. Oh no, we should have attacked with both. Well, we're not going to have time to play the Surveyor anyway, so there is that. Oh, shoot. Yeah, just pass here. Oh, shoot, I should have re-equipped. None of this is okay. As long as we're not dead, we have some good options. I should have re-equipped. 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. But they need answers for a lot of stuff now. I'm not going to run out Fight with Fire quite yet. Would it have been too much to ask for this to be instant? Maybe. We need to count here. So we've got 11 mana. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This doesn't hit players unless you kick it. So that is an important tidbit. An important little fact. The thing they want to counter the most is Aven Sentry, so I'm going to run that out first. And we certainly don't have enough left over for fight, so let's run this out. And then do we have enough to equip? We need to equip twice to get on the Sentry as well. So I think we do. Let's see what happens. I think they have one counter spell and probably no tricks to get us down to 0 this next turn. Okay, so they go to 3. We re-equip to make better blocks. And then we play a couple little creatures. And I want to save Fight with Fire to be the direct damage that we need and love so much. With them at 3, also we have 2 lethal creatures next turn. So what is this? Oh, you know what it is? It's going to be a Flash Flyer. No, it's a Syncopate for 6. I'm getting real scared. No, of course we can't pay for this. And if that's their Syncopate, oh boy. Is there a 3/3 Flash Flyer that taps Aven Sentry? If there is, we're in bad shape. If there's not, maybe we're okay. No, okay, they don't have anything there. There's a chance. There's an equipment that gives a creature power equal to the number of lands you have. It's expensive to equip. They have another Time of Ice. Oh no. Oh dear. Sentry can't block. We go to 3. And that's why they syncopated our 3-1. So they're still dead on board if they don't have something else. Fortunately, they're going to tap out here. So Fight with Fire wins. Yes! That was close. That was a close, crazy game. Right, so let's just do that. You can't see this number. It's actually impossible to see that number or the number of cards in their deck while this trigger is on. You can't resize it or anything, so Magic Online is a quality program. But let's also do that and that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It does add up to 10, right? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got him. See? It says, kill all your opponent's creatures and win the game for 10 mana. Next, we need... I think Broken Bond is just going to be a good card in this format, despite how slow it is and how useless its extra text is. It's still kind of cheap, which is a nice touch. Are the protectors any good? I think they're also pretty good in this matchup here. And their creatures are small. I wish we had a way to untap our stuff. Oh, we do. Untap target creature. Very nice. But we wouldn't want things like Dub because they just bounce our stuff. Now they know what they have to save Syncopate for. Primordial Worm, not as good. I'm going to cut the worm and put in a protector. Sounds crazy, but is not crazy. Good hand. Well, is it a good hand? Yeah, I think it is. They do have black in their deck, so Knight of Grace is not only a 2/2 first strike for 2. We're going to have turn 5 grow if it doesn't get syncopated. They're holding up Syncopate now, so they kill our knight, but honestly, it's the worst card in our hand. Can't pay for it. Well, it's not the worst card, but it's the only 1/1 in our hand. Everything else is a 2/1. Triple blue. But thank goodness they aren't countering Skittering Surveyor. What is Power Stone Shard about? I don't really understand that. But I understand that we're going to find a forest. Got it. Yeah, I'm not really sold on this card. I guess if you have 2, it adds 2 mana. That's the thing. Icy Oh, okay, now I understand it. That's a very good card. The Manipulator, and that's why we brought in our enchantment removal. They don't really get much out of it this turn. Oh, it taps lands. Oh no. I wonder if they tap a land here. Yeah. They know it's good. Just slightly annoying. But we've got more green. And while we have nothing to do, we get in 2. Next, they tap white. We have Aven Sentry, and then they tap whatever, and we have Grow from the Ashes. They're letting us go to main, so I wonder what that means. Whatever it means, I will attack for 2 again. In game 1, we did not see the creature that ambushes this, so hopefully they don't have it, or they just tap that, which is fine. Yeah, maybe they were worried about Sentry specifically, but who knows. Okay, here's got to be some kind of blocker. No, it's that thing. Now they tap. They could tap double green or they could tap red. Oh, that's not what I expected. So far, so good. We've been drawing well without thinning our deck, so I think this is all fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, Sentry, and let's re-equip. Why re-equip? Actually, I have no idea. It's probably wrong, even, because what they can do is Time of Ice it, tap one of our lands. Yeah, it's not too bad. Then we still get an extra 3 lands to do whatever. Wow. This is just the best. This is great. Alright, so before anything... Oh, no, also they just Icy Manipulator the Sentry. Oh, no, we should have... They actually stopped on our main phase, and I should have taken that time to re-equip. Yikes. That's just 1 more damage, but I had 2 chances to get it right, and I messed up both times. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? Okay, here we go. Wow. So 1 of each. And this time we will re-equip and just wait to the end of their turn to use Invoke. No real reason to do that, but in their planning this turn, they might want to use 1 less mana. Deep Freeze. I wish they were at 12. Let's see if this works. Despite all the Deep Freezes, I think the Manipulator is the worst for us. Gosh, if we had them to 10 here, it would give us so many outs to win. Rather, 1 out to win. With that and Grun. And they should be at 10. They should definitely be at 10. No black mana yet. They're just going to Deep Freeze the Surveyor too. Time of Ice. Time of Ice is kind of good for us. It's not great. I mean, this is why we should have gotten them to 10, because we might never get a chance. Man. But again, the Animist's Awakening, or whatever it is, could kill them, even if they're at a higher life total. Tap something else. Tap a Sentry. Yeah, they'll just tap the same thing correctly. Hey, that's a good one. So they bounce our Surveyor. Give them full information here, just in case they power up a Syncopate somehow. I guess we had plenty to counter it. But I'll re-equip to the Courser, and then pass back. Oh, wait, what? Huh. Oh. It's a funny one. I F6'd there, but I F3'd just in time. Just in time. So what they should have done... That was weird. They should have waited till our end step. So, okay, we both made a mistake this turn. Or last turn, my turn. Because we just get our 2/4 attacker in play now. 1, 2, 3, more lands, and even more lands. And after that, possibly some more lands. Right. Let us attack for 2. That'll get them under the threshold that we're interested in, which is 10 life. And this is like the worst draw they could imagine. 6 black cards in hand, 6 islands. Nope, there they go. The 6th land is a swamp. And that's just going to kill the Courser. Ooh, Disciple to get back Icy Manipulator, or more likely this turn, Time of Ice. That's really close, though. They're getting back Icy Manipulator. Okay, so they take 3. And they've already played their land here. Yeah, the reason you'd get Time of Ice back is it taps something right away. Gideon's Reproach. Well, could be worse, I suppose. Attack with both of these. And we have to give it flying, even though we might want them to block there. The Manipulator is back. And now they'll have 1 black spell every turn, so it's going to be rough from here on out. Dark Bargain. Ooh, they're going down to 4. Just to draw cards this turn. That's a great sign. I don't know why they leave up Power Stone Shard, except maybe another copy of it. But even then, it wouldn't make sense this turn. What? Oh, they do have another one. So that'll help tap a creature. This is not their day, is it? This is not their day. We have to leave Surveyor on, or the Short Sword on the Surveyor. But they probably tap Surveyor now. To take 1 instead of 3. 2, rather. Yeah. Get in there, horsey. Horsey wings. You can do it. A Pegasus chooses its rider, bearing the worthy into the clouds and tossing all others to the ground. Ouch, this is not a nice horse. Well, I guess if they're unworthy, then they deserve it, right? But Pegasus used to be a proper noun. Now it's just a... You're either a Pegasus or you aren't. What do we do here? Pass. Just pass. Right? Like there was only 1 Pegasus. I don't know how many unicorns there were. Probably not many. But there was only 1 Pegasus. Settle the score. Exile it. And then put 2 loyalty creatures on their thing. Can't do much about that. They need another answer, though. No, they don't. But if they don't find an answer, they lose Rona. Right, because they tap 1 thing down. Okay, here they go. Oh no! Wait, what's this getting back? It gets back Blink of an Eye. Right, so they can bounce a knight. Instant. Yeah, it has to get an instant back here. They get Blink of an Eye back, so they can use both Manipulator and bounce something. Wait, no, they're too low on mana. So are they dead here? No, again, but they have to lose Rona. Alright, here we go. They let us attack. They block a knight and bounce a knight and go to 1. Or this. This also works. Then they're going to tap something and trade off, which means we want to use Gideon's Reproach to save a 2/2, basically. Because they'll be at 1. Any piece of damage is going to help. Just make it as hard as possible. What do they get back as a sorcery? They get back Settle. So they actually have a ton of answers next turn. So this looks right to me. Oops. Whoops. Okay, so they're at 1. They have no idea what good stuff we have in our hand. Okay, so Dark Bargain. Syncopate thing. They'll have 2 mana left up after using their bounce spell. And that deals with 3 things. So now they'll have 3 mana up after using their bounce spell, or possibly 5 mana up if they don't draw a card off of it. Sphinx? Yeah. So they have Sphinx, kill, bounce, and manipulate. Sphinx, kill, bounce, manipulate. So they don't they don't lose here, but they don't get the most value out of the bounce. And there's the exile. Oh no. What if we just top deck our burn spell? That would be justice. Llanowar Elves doesn't do it. And they want us to attack here, but I'm not going to attack. I'm going to play a creature. Oh, they don't want us to attack. You may copy it and choose new targets. Well, they have to use Icy Manipulator, and I think I want to force them to use their bounce spell. Yeah, because they're going to get 2 things out of it anyway. So they tap a knight. Bounce a knight and then kill this thing. Yeah, they're doing it pretty well. The problem is if they get the conjecture off next turn, they get to bounce both knights and draw 2 cards because they copied it. Or maybe only 1 card. Well, whatever. This is fine. Yeah, no, I think it copies the if the spell was kicked clause. All right. We still pretty much need to draw our burn. They're really holding on here, though. And you can see they can make use of all the mana each turn. How do they scry also? I have no idea. Where do they scry? They scried. That was a few turns ago. Bottom. Okay, Urza's Tome's coming out. They double settled the score. Did they not do it last turn? They have 2 settle the scores. Okay. So that's how they doubled it there. And they already used a Syncopate. We only know they have 1 for sure. So it's all down to this. Can we draw our burn spell or a critical mass of creatures? So far, the answer is no. Heck, with this many lands, we might not even lose to a Syncopate. On 12, they have 12. They can counter unless we pay 11. So let's say we draw our Animate Land spell. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, Syncopate would still beat that because we have to tap out. No, Urgros. Just draw the burn spell. We're going to lose really quickly if we don't. That's not it, but I will keep playing these lands. We'll have to discard this land, but at least they don't get to draw a card off it. Ooh. Oh, they go back up to 4. They're losing cards quickly. We're running out of time ourselves. Urza's Tome, sure. And they've got plenty of stuff there, so it's pretty much just draw a card, exile a spell, and they exile Time of Ice. Of which no doubt they have an extra copy in their hand at this point. Come on, get it. Burn spell. Yeah. Are we dead here? So close. We got a 1. Okay. Yeah, Gift of Growth doesn't do it. Our guys are defenders, so they can't even attack. And they're not flying. They lose all their abilities. This would force them to draw a card, but that doesn't help us a lot. 10, we go to 1. Now or never. We lose this thing. Come on, heart of the cards. All my friends believe in me. So I should get more lucky. No! Wait! Maybe. But no. But maybe. Alright, maybe they missed this. They need to use Icy Manipulator, but if they don't, we can attack for 4. Oh, Unwind. Why would they do that? I mean, fair enough. But it shows us they have Unwind. So we wouldn't have won with the burn anyway. Okay. They got it. 2 deep freezes. Huh. I really want to find something else that'll work. Sarah's Disciple is just not it. They just have too many flyers that kill it. So our deck's good. Deck's good how it is. We got them to 1. Then they got us to 1. It's not every game when both players go to 1, that's for sure. Probably some small percent of games. Like 0.02% or something. 2 in 1,000 games. Sounds about right. Somehow I have 41 cards. That's no good. I'm going to take out Ancient Animus. That looks strange. And probably is strange. But I want the 17 lands. And they don't have a ton of stuff this interacts with. And if we have to trade 2 for 1, that's not good. So yeah, I guess I put in Broken Bond without making a cut. So that's the cut. An awkward hand on the play, but probably fine. We just need to draw that first land. And then we're there. We're in it. After that, oh, they're going to find our best creature or artifact, so they grab our sentry, I imagine. Divest. I hate this card. Because, well, you're not always going to hit with it. But if you hit early, it just takes a very, very good card. That's a nice one to draw. Assuming we get a land next, this is about the perfect thing to draw. They might have an answer to it right away. Like -2/-2. We haven't seen that the first couple games. But they didn't take Aven Sentry, so they must have an answer to Aven Sentry. That's funny. Okay, so Tallow Candle. Opt. They also don't have that much time left. 7 minutes. I guess they could speed up here. If they're double queuing, that explains why they took the full sideboarding time. Huh. We need some land if we're gonna survive for 7 minutes here. Come on, land. Are they going to keep our thing tapped? Then we could maybe untap it. Settle the score. Okay, land. That was a good land. Now we pretty much have to use Grow. And if they Icy Manipulate next turn, we want to make sure we have white. Normally we'd rather get our second green or second red, but I think white's more important here. They don't have it, so second red comes up right away. and we just want to put the most power and toughness into play. Or, okay, so we know they have an answer to Aven Sentry. They could syncopate either, but yeah, let's do call the cavalry, because if they use their negate on this, then it frees up negate for other spells. Ugh, dark bargain. No counters to this. Well, that's good news. That's good news. I wonder what they had in mind for Aven Sentry. Like, why do you take the Mammoth Spider? Maybe they were worried about their time, and they thought it'd be easier to attack through a sentry than a 3/5. Who knows? Poor exiled knights here. Okay, so one of these gets tapped. Time of Ice, very good against tokens. Honestly, that's probably what they were thinking. Just, oh, we have Time of Ice, so tokens are meaningless. And they don't have counterspell for Aven Sentry. And we do have a way to protect one of our knights. That's kind of cool. No reason to let them know about that. Ah, we should have kept it up here. I learned a lot about how these sagas work. Like, you can't respond to the counter, it just gets the counter as if it were an already activated ability, like the cost of an ability. So multiple sagas will trigger their abilities at the same time, while they both get the counters at the same time. So you can order them. Weird one. There's a lot of weird stuff with the timing of sagas. Anyway, Windgrace, they go to 13. And then what? And then what? We can try to kill that thing. But more importantly, we can untap one of our knights and cast Aven Sentry. So we're sacrificing 2 damage to get in Aven Sentry that won't be countered. Also, I'll attack with my other Aven Sentry. See what happens. Okay, so this thing... And it has Vigilance, right? That's good. I'm pretty sure they want to block this. And if they don't, that's fine, because we have plenty of time to redeploy it. Yeah, they want it to return to our hand. Fair enough. Okay, so goodbye Knight token. We'll have to cast our sentry again. They're not dead on board, but we have 10 damage in hand. And they're just going to attack us because they have removal for the sentry, but they don't necessarily want to spend it on the sentry. Okay. But it's sorcery speed, so they're going to use it. Oh, I don't understand what's going on. But we'll kill the Sphinx with our candle and put them at 1. Don't they know what this does? Who knows? Yeah, I mean, there aren't tricks that save it. Not for 1 black. There's a +2/+1 spell. Maybe they're just trying to play quickly and missing things. And that pretty much locks it up here. Oh, they do have something. -1/-1 and a Saproling. I wasn't thinking about that because it didn't kill our guy, but it does trade with our guy. Now they're kicking themselves for attacking with the Acolyte. Deep Freeze, not bad. Oh, please attack with the Acolyte again. I'm not sure how they get out of this one. Oh, by bouncing our thing. Oh well. Yeah, I guess that's one way. They bounced this thing, or now they're just using the tome, and they can exile Time of Ice. to keep that as a draw spell. The greedy play there is to exile Deep Freeze and attack for 3, but we have no idea what they have. Okay, I think we win here. No, they're playing around it. But we're so close. Do we have it? We do have it. 1, 2, 3. Fight with fire this guy. The small guy. Exile the big guy so they can't use it with Urza's Tome. Although, I think they're actually just dead here because there's very little in 1 blue that could have an effect. And exact damage. So, won my first Dominaria draft. And in good form. Yeah, good games. So that's that. Good start to a format, and I've been liking this format. It has a lot of interaction. The games are obviously long, and I think most colors of decks will work out if you get rewarded. It feels like a core set in the sense that there's not so much fixing. Generally, you're going to be 2 colors, and you'll be passing very powerful cards in other colors. So with that said, good luck in your drafts, and I'll catch you next time.